I welcome you all to the Creator Tech Connect series. And For people who have come and joined us for the first time, let me give you a small introduction about the Creator Tech Connect series. The Creator Tech Connect series is a month-on-month free webinar that we conduct where we concentrate mainly on the technical nuances that are there in the Creator platform. Let me also introduce you to our speakers for today. Hi, I'm Sai Kumar Muralidharan. I'll be the speaker for today for the first half of the session, and the second half will be taken by Deepika Prabhakaran. We both are part of the Zoho Creator training team. And before we get started, there are a few housekeeping rules to be followed throughout the session. First up, all the attendees will be on mute at all times, and please post your questions in the questions tab so that it is easier for us to answer your questions, and it is also helpful for us so that we don't miss out any questions as well. A recording of this session will be sent to all the registrants. You can go ahead revisit the sessions that we have taken, and please participate in the polls and surveys as well so that it would be useful for us. When I talked about the recordings of the session, let me also give you a small just into where you can get these recordings. So we have an course that we have created wherein you can go ahead sign up, and here you will be able to access all the recordings of the previous Tech Connect sessions. My co-trainers would be sharing the link for this course. You can go ahead, sign up, then sign in whenever you want, and you can look out into the previous sessions over here. Now, let me get back again to the presentation. And as you all know, we have online trainings that are happening on a weekly basis. So this is a campaign that we are running this week where we will be providing a 50% discount on the online training for business users that is happening next week on May 13th to 15th. So my co-trainers will be sharing the link for the link so that you can register for this session, which will be happening from May 13th to 15th. And this campaign is specific to the session that is happening next week. Now let's get started into today's topic. In today's topic, we'll be seeing rebranding mobile applications in Zoho Creator. For people who already have attended our sessions last month, you would know that this is part of the three-part series that we had planned earlier, right? Now, let me also talk to you about why we have taken mobile customization as a series. When you develop a web application, it is very important nowadays to have a mobile app associated to that web app, right? So this has become a necessity nowadays. So in Zoho Creator, we have a host of customization options over the top of building the application. Now, in this three-part series, we'll be discussing different aspects of this customization, and we'll also be talking about how you can enhance the application further as well. Now, let's also see what are these topics that we are covering in this three-part series. First up, we have the customizing mobile applications in Zoho Creator, which happened last month. And in this month, we are covering the rebranding of mobile applications in Zoho Creator. For the next month, we have the part 3, which wherein we'll be covering the mobile SDK in Zoho Creator. And we'll also be talking about how you can enhance the application further and edit the application further by using mobile SDK in Zoho Creator. I'll also give you a small recap for people who have not attended the session last month of what we had covered. We had customization options that we had explained in detail, and we also talked about some of the module-wise mobile customization options that are available. Like, for example, we have form customization options specific for mobile. We have report options which are specific for mobile, and so on. All those were covered in detail. And we also have progressive web applications, which was also showcased, where in the browser, you'll be able to access applications that you have created for mobile. We also discussed few key pointers that needs to be noted while developing the application for a mobile or customizing the application for mobile as well. Now let's look at today's agenda and what we'll be covering today, right? The first up, we have the introduction into rebranding, and then we'll talk about the prerequisites for the rebranding of a mobile application. And we'll also talk about what are the processes that are involved in rebranding for Android and iOS as well. And then we'll have a live demonstration of all the prerequisites, the code signing process, and everything covered in for Android and iOS separately in the live demonstration. And at the end, we'll cover a few key pointers that needs to be noted. Now let's start with the introduction to rebranding. So you have an application that you have developed in web, right? And you've used Zoho Creator, and in the platform you have developed the conference room booking application in web by inside your desktop, and then you'll be able to access that application in Zoho Creator's platform application inside the Play Store or Android Store. You can go ahead and download the install the application, and you can also view all the applications that you have built in the same account in web. Over here in the screenshot, you can see we have all the applications that have been listed, like event organizer, vendors, expenses, e-commerce, conference room booking, and so on, right? Now, what if I want just the conference room booking app to be separately distributed to the customers or users, different stakeholders? Now, how will I be able to do that? How would I be able to have my own company's logo attached to the application? Now, all this can be done when I rebrand the application. Now, when I rebrand the application, I'll be able to have my own logo, my own touch into the application, which is specifically for mobile. And then I'll be able to distribute it in different ways. We'll also be talking about how you can distribute as well in this session. And before we get into the processes that are involved in rebranding, let us also see what are the advantages of having a rebranded application. First up, we have the separate application for iOS or Android. So when you have different platforms, you have an application that you have developed in web, which can be used in mobile, and you can provide the same application in different platforms as well. You just need to follow the code signing process that we'll be explaining today, and you'll be able to have a separate application for iOS or Android. You also have different options to share mobile applications as well. Depending upon your requirements, you can share it multiple ways. You can also, as I told you, have your own company logo, your own branding, which also gives out a personalized experience to the user, as well as it gives out a bigger standard for the application that you are using. And at the end, you also have the stakeholders. We had talked about different stakeholders, right? So who are those different stakeholders? You have organizational users who are part of the organization, and you also have customers or vendors who are external users of the organization or the application, right? Now let's see the difference between a user and a customer and how that is related to the mobile application. Now, the users are part of the organization, and they are internal part of the organization, and the admin can invite the users to use the application, give out permission sets so that they can access different parts of the application separately, and they also can give out roles and define these roles depending upon the hierarchy of the organization. And at the end, you also have the permissions and the application capability being given to the users by the admin. And for the customers, they are not part of the organization, but they can go ahead, log into the customer portal via the invitation, and they also can be given specific permissions by the admin so that they'll be able to go ahead and use the application. Now, let's also see the process that is involved for rebranding for organizational users as well as for customers. For the organizational users, I have to code sign separately for the Android app and the iOS app. So the application that you are developing is just one application, but for you to use it for iOS or Android, you need to code sign it separately for iOS, Android, and for different user groups as well. Now, in the process of rebranding, as you all know, the first step would be to develop a web app, right? Once you develop a web app in Zoho Creator, you'll be able to use that web application in mobile directly. Now, for you to do that, you need to have the code signing process done. Now, what is code signing? You need to know what the process of code signing is. And the code signing is a process of digitally signing executable scripts that are used to develop the develop the mobile application. Now, why are we doing this? We are doing this to confirm the software author or the developer of the mobile application has guaranteed that the code has not been altered after the code signing process is done. Now, this will be very useful for you to push the application into Android Play Store or push it to the Apple Store. So all this would be required for you to distribute the mobile application. Now, for this code sign process to happen or to be done, you need to have the prerequisites ready. So with the prerequisites, you'll be able to code sign and then distribute the application. Now, what are these prerequisites? For iOS, we have a separate list of prerequisites that needs to be ready before code signing. And for the Android, you also have a separate set of prerequisites. Now, my code trainer would be taking the Android part of the code signing process, and she'll be explaining with a detailed demonstration. And I will be explaining about the iOS process. Now, let's go ahead into the iOS prerequisites. The first step would be to open an Apple Developer Enterprise Program account. Now, once you have the Apple Developer Enterprise Program account, you need to create a certificate.p12 file. P12 is an extension for the file, and you have to have the certificate.p12 file. Once you have the certificate.p12 file, you need to create an app ID. And once the app ID is created, you can create an APNS P12 file. For any mobile application that you are using, right, you will always have notifications that pops out, right? Now, that is an integral part of any mobile application. Now, this APNS is nothing but Apple Push Notification Services. So when you want to enable the notification, you need to create the APNS certificate.p12 file, and with that you need to create a profile. Now, with all these five together ready, you will be able to go ahead and code sign the application. Now, I'll be going through the whole process of prerequisites as well as the code signing. Now, for the code signing process, you need to have a mobile application in Zoho Creator, and then you need to upload the files that you have created via the prerequisites into Zoho Creator for the code signing process to happen. And once that is done, you will have an IPA file that you can download. With that, you'll be able to upload it into the App Store Connect, and you can distribute to the users and customers and submit the app to the App Store as well, so that they can review it and then push it to the App Store. Now, for this process, in the first, you will have the dashboard that you can see over here in the image, where you have the deploy option towards your left. Under deploy, you have mobile. You can click on it, and the top right corner, you have the option of create new. You can click on create new, and that would open up another dialog box which has the application being listed. Now, here in the drop down over here, you'll be able to select the application. Now, once you select which application you want to code sign, the next step would be to select the application type. So do you want it to be a code sign for users or for customers? So if it is customers, you can select portal. If it is users, you can select users over here. Now, once that is done, you need to select if it is the platform is iOS or Android. If it is iOS, you can just go ahead, select iOS, and then proceed further. Now, once you proceed further, you will again have another dialog box that opens up where you will have to enter the P12 file. So that is nothing but the certificate.p12 that has to be uploaded when you have the prerequisites ready. And also a password needs to be generated while the P12 file is being created. So that password will be used over here as well. And at the end, you also have the provisioning profile, which is a profile that needs to be created, and that will be used over here and uploaded over here. Now, at the beginning, you have the custom icon. For any rebranding to be done, you need to have a custom icon so that you have a personalized logo for your company or for your customer, so that they can have a personalized experience, or you can have a standard of application that you are providing for the user. Now, after uploading everything, at the end, you will have a push notification button that you have to enable. Now, once you enable the push notification, it would open another window where you need to upload the APNS P12 certificate. Now, this APNS certificate.p12 file is for the push notification. And once you upload it with the password that you have created while uploading it, it would take about 10 to 15 minutes for this process of code signing to be done from starting to end. Now, once this is done, it would take 10 minutes to 15 minutes for this process to get over and for you to receive the IPA files which can be downloaded. Now that you have created the code signing process after creating the prerequisites, the next step would be to distribute the application for different stakeholders. It can be users or it can be the customers or portal users. Now, for users, you have different options of distribution, like you can download the IPA file and then upload the IPA file to the transporter app. And from the transporter app, the application would be pushed to the App Store Connect. And in the App Store Connect, you can test the app. You can have different testers, internal testers being added or external testers being added, and test the application. And once that application is being tested, it can be sent for a review to the to Apple, and they'll be able to review your application and process it. And if it is successfully done, you will be able to see the application in the Apple Store. And the next process would be to invite the users by just entering their email address, so that they will receive the app's invitation link. They'll just need to click on the link and they'll be able to install the application and use it. The third option would be to distribute via the mobile device management. As you all know, MDM is something which is used in a lot of organizations to distribute applications to specific devices that are being used by their employees. Now, this can be done from Zoho Creator as well. Now, for customers, you can download the IPA file and you can upload the IPA file to the App Store Connect via the Transporter app. Now, over here, you have the download IPA option that is available as soon as you code sign and the code signing process is done. You can click on it, the IPA file will get downloaded, and you'll be able to upload it into the Transporter app. Now, we have taken a conference room booking application, and by using this application, we will go through the code signing process, and we will have the prerequisites ready and then code sign, and then also try to distribute it via different sources. Now, let me get into the live demonstration. Now in the live demonstration over here, you can see this is the Zoho Creators dashboard, right? Now in the dashboard, towards our left, you have develop, deploy, and manage. Now under deploy, you have environments, mobile, and portal. I have a conference room booking application that I have created, by which you'll be able to add new users, create new bookings for different rooms in a premise, and with different meeting rooms being added, those meeting rooms can be booked, and you can have meetings being arranged and scheduled over here by using this application. Now let me get into the mobile option under deploy, and towards my right top corner I have create new, right? I can click on create new, and I'll be able to create the code signing process for the conference room booking application. I have list of all the applications that have been created in this account. I'll just select the conference room booking app. Now, as soon as I selected, you can see these two options are disabled, right? That is because we have already created two code sign, two applications code sign over here, by usage of internal users for platforms iOS and Android. Since we have already created the code signing process, and we have finished the code signing process over here for the same application for Android and iOS, I won't be able to do the same thing again, right? So that is the reason these two are disabled. Now, if I click on the portal over here for external stakeholders, these two options are enabled, and I'll be able to select the iOS platform over here. I'll click on iOS and I'll click on next. Now, once I click on next, I have two options, right? One is the default icon, another one is the custom icon. Now, I can have the custom icon, and you can design a custom icon after referring to the iOS app icon guidelines. You can just click on this link over here, and you'll be able to view the documentation on how you can design the iOS app icon for the custom icon available over here, right? And then you have the certificate.p12 file. Now, for this to happen, as I told you before, you need to have a few prerequisites ready, right? Now, first up, we'll have to get into the keychain access. Now, this keychain access is available in my Mac over here. Now, in my laptop, I have the keychain access. I just need to type keychain access, and this would take me to the keychain access application. And here I have the certificate assistance. I am just going ahead and clicking on keychain access in the top left corner of my screen, and I am selecting certificate assistant. And inside certificate assistant, I have an option called as request a certificate from a certificate authority. I'll click on it, and this would open up the certificate assistance. I need to enter my login address or ID, and I will request it as saved into my desktop or disk, right? Now I'll enter this and I'll click on continue. Now this would, I just need to save it into my desktop. If you want, you can change the address. I'll save it in my desktop. Now, once this is done, I'll just click on done, and I'll get into my my Finder, and I can get into the desktop, and I can see the certificate signing request available over here, right? Now, with the certificate signing request, which is available over here, I'll be able to create the certificate.p12 file and apns certificate.p12 file. Now, this is the first step that you need to do. Once you are done with this step, now let us get into the Apple Developer Enterprise Program. Now, you just need to go ahead into Google and enter Apple Developer Enterprise Program. Now, once you are into the Apple Developer Enterprise Program, I have signed up and I have logged in. So I'll be able to just go ahead into my account. And here, if you see, we have different options or different places where I am given access to. I can go ahead and access the App Store Connect, from where I'll be able to send the application for review. I'll be able to have certificates being enabled, app IDs being created, and profiles also created. And I also have additional resources available for me over here, which would help me work with the App Store Connect, as well as the process of creating certificates and IDs. Now let me get into the certificates, IDs, and profiles over here. Now this is how the page would look like. Towards our left, you can see you have different tabs like certificates, identifiers, devices, profiles, keys, and services. Now, if I have to create a new certificate, I'll have to select this option over here. And beside the certificate, I have a plus option, right? I'll click on this plus option, and I have different options available for me. One is the software from where I can select, or the services. Now, if I want to have just the Apple push notification services enabled, I'll be using the services option. Now, since we want the sign in for iOS, iPad, macOS, watchOS, and so on, I will select just the Apple distribution over here. Now, when I select the Apple distribution, what happens is I have a certificate which will enable me to sign in to iOS, iPad OS, the Mac OS, TV OS, and any OS that is provided by Apple, right? Now I'll click on continue towards my right. And here it is asking me to upload the file we just now downloaded, right? I'll click on the certificate signing request. I'll click on open. And here I'll click on continue. Now, once I click on continue, this has the certificate ready for me, right? I'll click on download. Now, it does not download directly into a certificate.p12 file, right? It downloads as a .cer file. Now, for us to convert it into the certificate.p12 file, I need to again go ahead, access the link over there, and that would open up the keychain access over here, right? Now, inside the keychain access, I have the Apple distribution that has been created, right? Now, for me to access the certificate.p12 file, I have to export this file over here, right? Now, you'll be able to, again, get into the keychain access, click on login, and in my certificates, which is available in the top, you click on it and you'll be able to access the Apple distribution. I'll click on export over here. And here I have the certificate that can be downloaded. I'll just click on save. And here I need to enter the password. Now this password is the password that we'll be using in Creator as well. So it is very important to remember this password. And you can also save this password somewhere so that it would be easier for you as well. And this is the system password that I just now entered. Now, after entering my system password, I have the P12 file downloaded over here, right? Now, once the P12 file is downloaded as a certificate, now let me get back to the developer console over here. Let me get into all certificates. Now that we have the P12 certificate.p12 file, you need to create the app ID next, right? Now, that is the next step. For us to create the app ID, I'll click on the identifiers, and I can create a new identifier by clicking on this plus icon over here. I click on that plus icon, and I have app IDs, right? I have different IDs that I can create, like service IDs, website push IDs. I just need the app ID now. I'll click on app IDs and I'll click on continue. I just need the app. I don't need app clips. So I'll select the app and click on continue again. Now I need to enter a description over here, right? Now I'll just type conference booking app, and I'll enter the bundle ID over here. Now this bundle ID will be mapped directly to the bundle that we will be creating in the App Store Connect as well. So you need to remember the bundle ID as well as type the bundle ID in the reverse domain order over here, .com, com.zilker, dot. I'll just have the conference app. Now, once this is done, I'll click on continue and I'll click on register. Now, once this is registered, I need to go ahead and search the application again. I have the conference booking app that I just now created, right? I'll click on it. Now, this is the app ID that we'll be working with. Now, when I scroll down, there are a lot of capabilities that are being listed for these applications, right? Now, we need the push notification to be enabled, which is the bare minimum of the capabilities that we require, right? Now, for this, we have the push notification available over here. I'll check this box for the push notification and I'll click on save in the top right corner. Now, once I click on save, it is asking me if I can modify the app capabilities. I confirm it. Now, once that is saved, right? Give me a second. Now, once that is saved, I'll be able to configure the certificate over here. Now, I have two certifications, development SSL certificate and the production SSL certificate. I'll click on create certificate. And with the new certificate, I just need to upload the certificate signing request over here. Now, with the certificate signing request, I'll just open it and I'll click on continue. Now, as you can see in the certificate type, it says Apple push notification service, right? Now, I have uploaded the same file that we had created in the start, which is the first step that we did. And I'll click on continue. And you can just click on download over here once the certificate has been created. Now, this would download as a .cer file again. I double click this file and this would again open up in the keychain access. Now, over here, if you see in the keychain access, I have the Apple push notification service file available for me, right? I'll again right click on it. I just need to go ahead and export it. I'll just change the name as APNS and I'll click on save. I have to enter the password, which will be used later. Now, once this is done, I'll click on OK. I need to enter the system password. Right now, once this is done, you can see the certificate has been downloaded in the in my Finder over here in documents. Right now, we have both the certificates. We have created an app ID. The last step is to create a provisional profile or the profile for the application. Now, how do we do it? We get back to all certificates and I'll click on profiles. And here I'll click on a new profile. I just need to click on this plus icon over here. And I have profiles that can be created for development and distribution over here, right? Now, for development, I have different options. And for distribution, I have different options that are available. And over here, I'll click on the App Store Connect. And with the App Store Connect, I can distribute the provisioning profile to submit the app to the App Store via the App Store Connect to Apple. Now, I'll click on App Store Connect. I'll click on continue. And here I need to enter the Apple ID, right? So we have the Apple ID, Zoho, Zilker. Let me enter the bundle ID dot conference booking app, which is the app that we had created just now. I'll click on continue. And here I'll click on the configuration for distribution to use in the Xcode 11 or later. And click on continue. And here I'll enter the provisioning profile name. Now I'll give out the provisioning profile name as Zoho Zilker. Book a conference room. I'll click on generate. Now, once this is generated, I just need to click on download, and this would be downloaded for me. And now we are done with all the 5 steps for prerequisites, right? Now, with these 5 steps being done, let me get into Zoho Creator. And here we had left the code signing process after uploading the image, right? Now, I'll just browse over here, click on browse, and I'll click on documents, and I have the certificate available for me, right? I'll click on open, and I need to enter the password that we had created, right? I'll enter the password, and I'll enter the provisioning profile that we had created just now. Now, with the mobile provisioning profile being created and uploaded, I have just one thing to do, right? I just need to enable the push notification. For me to do that, again, I need to upload the certificate apns.p12 file. Now, once that is uploaded, I have to enter the password. I click on enable and code sign. Now, once I click on code sign over here in the bottom right corner, this would take me about 10 to 15 minutes for this application to get code sign for iOS, for the user base as customers, right? Now, once this process is in code signing, you can just get into the users. Now, I had already told you we have code signed this process, and this is how it would look like after the code signing process is done. Here I have download IPA, right? I can click on download IPA, and I'll be able to download the IPA from here, right? Now I'll click on it. I'll click on save, and the IPA file gets downloaded over here. As I told you in the presentation, you have different ways by which you can distribute the application, right? Application to the stakeholders. So one such way is downloading the IPA, and once you download the IPA, you can get into the App Store Connect. So this is how the App Store Connect would look like after signing up, and you just need to click on apps in the top left corner and a new app, and I can enable the application over here for different platforms. I can name the application over here, and I can choose the language. I can choose the bundle ID. I have a lot of bundle IDs that have already been created. You have to scroll down and select the bundle ID over here. Now, this is the bundle ID that we had created just now, right? And I can enter the SKU ID as well. Now, since we had created multiple applications, you will be able to create applications over here, and this would open up the Zilker booking app, where I can select options which are available for distribution, which are available for test flight over here, and for Xcode. Right now, this would take some time for the build to be available over here. Right, for this build to be available over here, I need to open the transporter app. Now, when I open the transporter app, that is how you can push an application into the Apple Connect. Now I'll click on add app, and I have the conference booking app available over here, .ipa available over here. I'll open that. Now this would take about few minutes. I'll click on deliver, and once this is delivered, I'll be able to view the build over here. Right now, I'll get into the apps again, and I'll show you how you'll be able to view the build. Now here I had a build that I had uploaded, and if the application has been accepted by Apple, you'll have it as accepted over here. If it is rejected by Apple, you will have the rejected symbol over here. You can add internal testing for internal groups of testers, and you also can add the external testing for groups of testers as well, available over here. Now with this, you'll be able to test and push the application further as well, right? Now, once that is one such way of uploading the application to the masses, where once the application is there for review and the review is done by Apple, you'll be able to view the application in the Apple Store. And the next option is to share it via email, where I can enter the email address and I can click on share, and this would share the app installation link with the users as well. And at the end, I have the option to distribute the app with employees through MDM. Now, this can be done by having the certificate, APNS certificate uploaded over here in Creator. You can create the APNS certificate by opening the mobile device manager for Manage Engine, create an account. My co-trainers would be sharing the links of the process that can be followed. And here, you can open the groups and devices and upload the devices that you need to push the application to. And you can also have an app repository maintained as well. Here you can see the conference room booking app available for me over here. As soon as I enter my email address in the application, I'll be able to distribute the app via MDM to the users. Now, I'll also showcase how you can view the MDM in my mobile phone as well. Now, I have a mobile that I had connected over here. And if you can see in the mobile screen, I have the MEMDM app already installed, right? I'll click on it. I have different app catalogs that are available for me, right? I'll click on the app catalog, and this has the conference room booking app. So I did not install it from Play Store or the App Store. I was able to push the application by using MDM from Manage Engine, and through Creator, I was able to push it, and I have the application over here in my iPhone. Now, let us also get into the application over here, and I am able to view the application, work on the application. I also have the notifications also enabled over here, right? Now, all this is possible by just having the code signing process done. Now, with this, I have come to the end of my live demonstration. I would like to hand over the session to Deepika, so that she can take over and take over the session for the Android code signing process. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sai. And I hope you all are having an insightful session about mobile rebranding. Before we get started with the session, can I have a quick audio and video check? Is my voice is audible and my screen is visible? Let me also share my screen. So let's get started. So far, Sai was talking about how to rebrand your mobile application for iOS. So let me take on from here. This is me, Deepika, and I will be explaining how to do rebranding for your Android. So let's get started with the code signing process for Android. As of now, we are much familiar what are the prerequisites for code sign. And also we know what are the prerequisites that we need in order to code sign your application for iOS. Now let's go and see what are the prerequisites that we need in order to do rebranding for Android. So for Android, it has been kept very simple. So the first step that we have to do is to generate a keystore file. So this keystore file will help you to generate an APK or an AAB file. And also this keystore file stands as an authentication from the developer's end to the application. Followed by, we will be downloading a Firebase configure file along with the FCM server key. So this Firebase configure file along with the FCM server key will help us to enable push notifications for your mobile applications. So these are the prerequisites that we need in order to code sign your application for Android. Now let's go and check what are the steps involved in code signing for Android. So the very first step would be that we'll sign up in the Creator platform and create a mobile application. Followed by, we'll generate the keystore file and upload it in the creator platform. And then we'll initiate the code signing process. Once the code signing process is successful, then we'll distribute it to the users or to the customers. So these are the steps involved for code signing. And the document for code signing for Android, both for users and customers, will be shared in the chat by our code trainer. Please access the document and get yourself familiar with the process. Now, once we sign up into the creator platform, as you have seen in the iOS, the similar steps, like you have to choose a mobile and then navigate yourself to create new option. So once you click on create new, you'll be able to see this dialog box where this will be asking you which application are we going to perform the rebranding. So we'll choose the application, followed by we'll choose the application type. Is it for the users or for the customers? If it for the users, we'll choose user for obvious, and then if it for customers, then we have to change it to portal. And then we will choose the platform. As we are doing it for Android, I'll go with Android. And once all the inputs are done over here, and we'll be ending up in seeing a site like this, where this is going to ask you, how are we going to export our mobile application? Is it in the AAB format or in the APK format? So we've been constantly using AAB and APK. We will get to know a gist about this in the upcoming slide. So as of now, I'm keeping that on hold and looking into the other details, where you will be asked to upload a keystore file. So we will be generating a keystore file as we saw in the prerequisites. So we'll generate a keystore file, and while generating a keystore file, we'll protect it with a password. So that password is quite important, where we have to re-enter the same password over here. And then while generating a keystore file, we will also give an alias name. Remember the same alias name because we will be entering it over here. So we are done in uploading our prerequisites. But what if I want to enable push notification for my mobile application? So you will be enabling this push notification option. So once I enable this push notification option, I'll be able to see this pop-up. This pop-up will be asking me to upload a Firebase configure file. So what is this Firebase configure file? This will again help you to enable the push notifications, and this FCM server key, which is Firebase Cloud Messaging Server key, we will be understanding how to generate this Firebase configure file along with the FCM server key in the live demonstration. And then now these are the steps involved in the code signing process for Android. So once all the steps are done, it will take around 10 to 15 minutes in order to complete the entire process. So meanwhile, what happens is there will be a timer icon just beside your application's name. So that will indicate the status of the process. The end product, the final product, will be an APK file or an AAB file. So there are different distribution available for users. So we can download the APK or AAB file and we can submit it to the distributors like Google Play Store, Amazon App Store, Samsung Galaxy Apps, etc. Or else we can send the application invitation link to the users where they can download it using the invitation link. And also, as this is for the internal organizational users, we can push the application via MDM as well. So Sai also explained you how we can push the application via MDM. The similar steps will be followed here as well in order to push your application via MDM for Android. So let me give you a quick thing about the APK and AAB on Google Play Store, Amazon App Store and all. So based on the distributor's requirement, we'll upload the file. For example, Google Play Store needs only AAB file. So if you're going to submit any application, it has to be only in the AAB file format. And the Google Play Store will not accept the APK file. So based on your distributor's requirement, you can follow the process, upload the required file and get your apps published as a native app. So once all the steps are done, this will be the final page where this will ask you to download your AAB file, or if you want to download the APK file, you can choose among them. So those are the steps involved for distributing your application for users. Now, distribution for Android, this is for the customers. Here, this step is very simple. All we need to do is download your APK or the AAB file, upload it to your distributors based on their requirement. And again, the final page will look like this, where you can choose to download to your AAB or to your APK. So these are the distribution steps involved for Android, as well as like for users and as well as for the customers. So we've been constantly using these terms AAB and APK. So let's get to understand what is AAB and what is APK. So AAB stands for Android App Bundle. So this is a new publishing format which was introduced by Google. So as I mentioned earlier, if at all you're going to submit your application to Google Play Store, this will accept only the AAB file format. Now, this bundle will have all the code and the resources. Now, what do I mean by the resources? So your entire application will not only have the computer's code, it also has some media files in it, some audio, images, URLs. So all these comes under resources. Now, this will also, the AAB file will also delay the APK generation and also signing to the Google Play. This will again help your users to download the application based on their device specification. As this device specification option has been given to the user, the size of the apps can be optimized when they are downloading it to the mobile. So this is the quick gist about the AAB file format. And moving on, talking about the Android application package, which is APK. So this APK file format is quite familiar with us because this is one of the famous file format is used by Android, where we can use this file format to distribute and also install the application across different Android devices. And this is moreover like a zip file which will contain the required code, all the resources that is need in order to run this application in any Android devices. So to summarize about AAB and APK, AAB is a bundle where that cannot be directly downloaded as a file into your mobile devices, but APK can be downloaded as a file into your mobile devices, and we can install the application. So the AAB, when we are submitting it to the Play Store or whomsoever the distributor is, only it has to be processed by the distributor into an APK format when a user is installing the application. In that way, it will be downloaded into the mobile. So I hope this helps. Now, moving forward. So if I'm done with the coding process, the code signing process, so what if I want to recode sign my application? The steps are quite simple. So once you're done and you're in the final page after the code signing process is successful, we have to click on this recode sign. So once I click on the recode sign, this is going to take me to a page like this. So once the recode sign has been initiated, this will take a page like this where the application name will be default, because we are performing the recode sign for an application whose code signing process is already successful. Now, you have to perform the similar steps that we have done while code signing, and you will be able to see an option called cancel here. So if I'm clicking on the cancel, what happens is the entire existing application will get deleted. So make sure once the code signing got initiated, we are not clicking on cancel, as it will delete the existing application file. Okay, so now proceeding with the use case, we have this same conference room booking app. Let's go to the live demonstration and we'll understand how are we going to perform the prerequisites and upload it in the creator, get our mobile application rebranded. So this is the website application. This is a conference room booking app. This has a dashboard and this has many forms. For example, this has a book a room form. So if I'm going to provide this application to my organization users where they can book their conference room based on the conference room availability, this also has available rooms where we can check out what are the rooms available currently. So this is the application for which we are going to perform the rebranding. So let's see how to do that. This is a creator dashboard where, as we know, we have to navigate ourselves under deploy to mobile. And then we have to click on create new towards the right hand side. And then I'll click on the application, do select my conference room booking app. Now I'll choose the application type to be user, as I'm performing it for the users, and then the platform as Android. Once all the inputs are given, next option will be highlighted. Do click on that. So now once I click on the next option, this will ask me for the code signing process. So before we get into the details, here we have an option called generate client. So if I click on this, this will actually create a identity in the directory. So how am I going to create it? I will just click on create. So this will perform the authorization and then it will bring you back to the code signing page. So over here, we are going to enter the package name. We'll start with the package name, and it is very much advisable to give the package name in the reverse format. So here I'm going to give it as com.zilker.conference room booking. So this is going to be my package name, where please do remember the package name, because we will be using this package name when we are generating a Firebase config file. So now moving forward, we have the icon. So we know one of the important reason that we rebrand our mobile application is where we can showcase our application with our own company logo. So we can choose custom icon and then you can click on browse. I have one of the similar logos that Sai was showing you. So I'm going to upload it over here, and make sure while designing the logo, we have to adhere to the rules of the Android. So based on those criteria, we have to create this icon. Now moving forward, this is asking me how am I going to export my mobile application as. Do I need only APK or AAB or both? So I'm going to do select both Android app bundle as well as Android package. Now the next step is upload the keystore file. So now we are going to see how are we going to generate a keystore file, protecting it with the password, and then we'll come and upload it here. So before I take you there, let me show the prerequisites for Android application. So these are the prerequisites, and here I have the command. This prerequisite both for users and customers, the document will be shared in the chat by our code trainer. So please do access the document. Now I'm copying this command. Here, this is my terminal, and also do remember the terminal's path, because once you generate your keystore file, that will be downloaded in the terminal's path. So here I've pasted the command and increasing the size so that it will be pretty much visible. Over here, we have to edit two things, that is the alias name and the my release key. So my release key will be the name of the keystore file. First, let me navigate to the alias name and change that. So here we are. I'm deleting that and I'm naming that as conference room. This alias name is not mandatory that it should be conference room everywhere. It is a customizable yet a unique one. So give an alias name that is relevant to your application to remember that. So here I'm going to name my keystore file as conference room booking. So let me bring my cursor at the end, and then I'm going to click on enter. So once I click on enter, this should ask me for a password in order to protect my keystore file. So I'm entering the password. So done with the password. Once you're done in providing the password, this will throw you a set of questions. So please do answer those questions, and let me answer those questions real quick. So we are done in answering all the questions thrown by the terminal. And now this is going to ask for a key password. So to keep it very simple, I'm giving the same password that I've given already. So once we are done and giving the password for the key, here it shows storing the conference room booking.keystore. So the file got generated and got downloaded in the terminal's path. So now let's go back to the creator. So let's browse for the file. I'll click on browse, and we know this has an extension of .keystore. So let me search for .keystore, and here is the file. I'll choose that and I'll open. And now let's enter the password. And let's enter the alias name, conference room. And this set I performed for the AAB file. The same set has to be performed for the APK file. So let me just click on browse, and then I'll search for the .keystore file again. I'll choose and then I'll open it. Okay, let me choose it again. I'll open and then I'll enter the password. And the alias name. So we are done in uploading the keystore file. We have entered the password. Now, if at all I want to enable push notification for my application, all I have to do is click on this push notification. Now, this is asking me to upload the Firebase config file along with the FCM server key. So now let's go into Firebase and see how to generate this file. So I have just logged in with the email ID, and then I've created a project called Conference Room app. So once you are done with these two steps, this will be the dashboard that you'll be able to see. Now we'll start for downloading this Firebase config file by clicking on the Android. And now this will be asking for the package. Make sure we are entering the same package name that you have given, because this Firebase config file is unique for your apps. So I've given com.zilker.conference room booking. So let me just go and have a quick check in the, yep. So we got package name the same as I've entered. Proceeding with the name of my application, and I'll click on register app. So once I'm done with registering my app, this will be providing me with the Firebase config file. We have to click on download. So this is downloaded. And now once done, click on next. This will show you some Firebase SDK. Navigate down and then click on next. So we are done with this step. Click on continue to the console. So we have our file, but are we done? No. We have to generate the FCM server key, which is Firebase Cloud Messaging Server Key. So how are we going to do that? Here we have our application name. Click on that. We have a settings icon. Do click on that as well. And navigate yourself to cloud messaging. And once you click on cloud messaging, you'll be able to see the server key. Copy the server key. And then let's go back to Creator. We'll paste the server key. We'll browse for the Google Services JSON file. And then I'll open. So now I'll click on Enable. And then I'll click on Code Sign. So this code signing process got initiated, and there will be a timer icon just beside the name of your application, which is going to indicate the status. So I'll show you how this application will look once the code signing process is completed. I have rebranded the same application in a different account, so I'll show you that. So here we are with the conference room booking app for customers. So this is how the complete application will look like, where if you want to recode sign, you can click on this, or if you want to download AAB, you can click on this, or download APK, you can click on this as well. And this shows the push notification is already enabled. If you want to disable, you can click on this. Now let me just also show you how the application will look like when we download it in the mobile. So I'm going to connect my Android tab to my device. So before that, over here, if you see this application, this is the final application. I'm going to enter the user's email ID, and then I have chosen APK file, and then I'll click on share. So what happens is this will share the APK file to this respective email ID. Now let me connect my device to the Android tab. So I've connected the device. I hope it is visible. And now I'll open the Gmail so that you'll be able to see. Okay, so this is the email invite. So it is showing the conference room booking app, and you can click on this install app and open that in the browser. So once you open it in the browser, this is asking me, should I download it again? Because I already have this application in the tab. So I click on download again. And if you see, this is getting downloaded. So once downloaded, it will be showing an option for you to get it installed in your device. So after installing, it will be like this. So this is the conference room booking app that I was demonstrating in the website. So here it also has book a room form, and then you have the available rooms as well, where you can choose the rooms in this. So this is how the mobile application will be. Let me just come back to the presentation. I hope the live demonstration is pretty much clear. If you have any questions, please drop them in the question tab and get them answered by the co-trainer. Now let's see what are the key pointers that we have from the rebranding. So the images that we are uploading into the custom icons should have a PNG images whose resolutions has to be 1024 to 1024 pixels. And while we are creating our icon, make sure it adheres the rules of iOS as well as Android guidelines. Then once you code sign your application, if it is successful, then we cannot delete it. So the delete option is only available when your code sign process gets failed, and you can only recode sign your successful code signed application. So these are some of the key pointers that we have for the rebranding, both for Android and for iOS. Now let's quickly summarize the session. So here we started with the introduction about rebranding, where we also saw what are the advantages when we rebrand your mobile application, and followed by we had the code signing process for iOS, and then with a clear live demonstration by Sai, and then code signing for Android along with the live demonstration. Then we also saw some of the key pointers from the code signing process. Okay, so post this. Before I talk about this, my co-trainer will be starting a poll. So that poll is regarding that we have a click channel where we will be providing you the updates about the upcoming sessions that we are conducting, and we will also be sending you the reminders before you join the session. So if you are interested, you can show your consent in that. I hope the poll got initiated. Okay, so now talking about the upcoming free webinars that we have, the first one is the Learning Table series, which is a month-on-month session. In the Learning Table series, we do 12-month, 12 industry. We will pick an industry, and then we'll identify the problem statement in that, and we will try to automate that problems on the top of Creator. So for the upcoming June month, we are running a session for Creator for Manufacturing, which is happening on June 6th. So you can scan this QR code and get yourself registered for the upcoming Learning Table series session. The registration link will also be shared in the chat by our co-trainer. You can either access the link or scan the QR code and get yourself registered. And then we have the Creator Tech Connect series, where we are currently into the second part of the Creator Tech Connect series. The Tech Connect series is basically that covers the technical nuances about the Creator platform. So the third session of the mobile customization would be mobile SDK in the Zoho Creator, which is going to happen on June 13th. We have the QR code over here. Do scan the QR code and get yourself registered, or the registration link is also available in the chat. You can make use of that. Or if you feel some of your friends or colleagues are really interested to know what are the new things that we can perform in Creator, you can share the links and make you like ask them to make use of the sessions. Okay, let me just keep the QR code for a few more seconds so you can access it. So moving on, here we have the live Q&A where we trainers, myself and Sai, will pick questions from your question tab and get them and like providing answers to that. So meanwhile, let me just come back to the screen and then I'll stop sharing. So you can ask your questions in the question tab and we'll pick the questions and we'll answer.
So any questions with regards to Zoho Creator, rebranding, mobile customization options, please do ask in the questions tab. We'll be able to answer them immediately. So while we receive questions, well, let me also ask the question that has been troubling me as well when I was seeing the Android part of the session. So there are a lot of distribution platforms that are available, right? It's not only Google, Google of code signing process. There are other distribution platforms also available, like for example, Galaxy for Samsung and so on. So how is the distribution process for that, Deepika? So what is the change in that process as well as the Google process? Is there anything that should be noted while doing it?
Thank you so much for the question, Sai. I hope this question would have been there in minds of our attendees as well. So let me give a quick clarification about that. So as I showed you, there are different distributors available where we are going to perform the steps or the processes that are supported or that are mentioned by the respective distributors. So each one have their own processes that they have to follow. So for example, as I mentioned about Google, who are going to accept only the AAP file format. So the process may differ for Samsung, Amazon, and also based on their requirements, we're going to upload the file, get the process done, and publish our applications. I hope this answers. So from my end, I have a question to you, Sai. So how do you think that MDM benefits the users, like the internal organization users? So could you please give me a clarification about that?
Yeah, that's also a very good question. The MDM plays a major role in the security and as well as the privacy of the devices that are being used inside the organization, right? So MDM from Manage Engine provides a great deal of options that are available so that it is easier for people to go ahead and use devices as well as from the administration side. It is easier for people to also distribute the applications to their mobile devices as well. So it happens in a very hassle-free manner, as well as it is totally accountable as well. So it is a great deal of advantage when you use the MDM from Manage Engine. So that is the advantage of having MDM in the code signing process. And once you do that, if you want to distribute it, the MDM is a great option for internal users. Now, if you have any questions, you can post it in the questions tab. We'll be able to answer your questions.
So meanwhile, thank you so much, Sai, for the answer.
So we have a question from James. So when creating a page on Zoho Creator, how do you give access to customers to the personalized view and not the dashboards? Because on the permissions, it only has access permissions. Yeah. So with the pages, right, we have different permissions that can be given for user permissions for different roles that are being in the organization, right? Now, in Zoho Creator for pages, you have the option to give out view access. You have access to have the dashboard not viewed at all, right? And with this, you will be able to control which part of the dashboard or which dashboard you want to view. You can't give permission access to different parts of the same dashboard, but you'll be able to give access to different dashboards. So you can, if you want your customers only to see certain information, you can create a dashboard which is a specific for the customers, so that it would be easier for you to give permission access only to the customer for that dashboard. I hope this answers your question, James. So let's take the question here. So when you have the loans a user has taken, and you only want the user to see a widget on how they owe the company and not like the sum of all the loans, our dashboards really personalized to specific users. So you can you can personalize the dashboard to specific users by using page variables and page scripts. So that is possible where for a single user you can give access to the data of that user only, right? So you can they can enter their email address, and the details of that user will only be visible to that user. But if you want only different access, yeah, we'll be sharing the documentation as well in that regard, James. So if you want access to different parts of the page for a single user, that will not be possible, but you'll be able to personalize for each of the users. I hope this answers your question, James. Thank you. So is there any other questions that we can take you can just have it in the questions tab. We'll be able to take the question. So thank you so much for your participation. We'll be closing the session now. Thank you all. Oh, yeah, James. Yeah, please do. So that is a great question, James. So James has asked a question about, if I want to build apps in Creator, how will I be able to monetize or resell them? So we have something called as Zoho Marketplace. So in Zoho Marketplace, you'll be able to push custom solutions. You'll be able to build your widget extensions, which can be used as extension for other use cases to different customers or partners who are using Zoho Creator. So you can refer the link to Zoho Marketplace, which my co-trainer has shared in the chat section. And from there, you'll be able to go ahead and put out your custom solutions if you have developed applications for specific use cases as well. You can also reach out to us in training@zohocreator.com. We'll be able to help you out if you have any specific requirements with regards to the monetization or the reselling part. We have taken a separate session on this regard of how you can monetize widget extensions if you have developed them. Please do go ahead and sign up to the course that we had shared in the beginning. I request my co-trainer also to share the link now, so that it would be easier for James as well to go ahead, register, and also revisit that session. So in that session, we would have given a detailed explanation on the whole process of of how you can send widget extension into the marketplace and get monetized. I hope this answers your question, James. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. See you all in another session.